Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the geeks out there. Second time this evening, I would like to say hello and welcome to, I'm going to say it right this time, the Geek-Inspired Podcast. Wait, no, that's wrong. Second time now, so I actually said it right this time. Yes, with our other host, Geekoscopy, otherwise known as Tunes, the far left-hand side. We're all pointing in different directions. We'll do the fusion. It's the fusion. The fusion. Right, and right in our middle here, who's part of Geeks in the Hood actually as well.
Yeah,
but they're on hiatus at the moment.
We're talking about headshot hustle.
We're talking about headshot hustle tonight. We're going to ask him a lot of different questions and embarrass him because we're just so good at that.
Try.
And we're going to ask him a lot of levels so we can all actually embarrass him because we're just so good at that.
Try.
But anyway, welcome, Pregan. How are you feeling on this great and embarrass him?
Yeah, man. Joburg's getting pretty chilly now. So, autumn is here.
Indeed.
Spring is here, and it still feels like winter.
Yeah. Still feels like summer here in Durban. It always feels like summer in Durban.
I honestly think you're in the best part of SA right now.
Yeah. In terms of weather, Durban is the place to be.
Yeah, in terms of weather, I will always, although to be honest, I will always choose. Shit, sorry, my computer's making noises. No. I will always choose Scotland over any of those. No.
All right. Scotland has you. Once you go to Scotland, you don't go back, hey?
You go back, yeah. Ride or die, Scotland. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice and cold there. Very nice and cold. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We get to a maximum. Apparently, the heat wave, I'm not even shitting you, was 30 degrees Celsius. That was a heat wave.
Wow.
That was like a normal day in Joburg.
Yeah.
What a heat wave for them. I said to them, yeah, no, that's a normal day. 5 on a good day. And they're like, geez, that's too hot. No, that's too hot. So they really can't handle heat yet.
That's insane.
But anyway, it's about the Pregan master. We're going to ask him a few questions. I think Kes should start tonight because she didn't start last week.
Okay, so for people who don't know you, before we get started, who are you? What do you do? What are you currently doing in the geek and gaming community? Aside from being in lockdown.
I was about to give you the whole Darth Sadie bun intro, hey, what's up you guys, but it doesn't come out as naturally as it would for Zed. So I'm going to do the way I do it. What's happening guys, it's Pregan, Pillay, aka Headshot Hustle. So yeah, I am a esports photographer and a con photographer. Not a con artist, but a convention photographer. So essentially I know, right? So essentially what I do is I try and cover all the highlights for conventions, and I've niched into esports and the geek community. So your Comic Cons, your Rage, Rush, those events, I will be there in a non-creepy, stalkerish way with my camera, taking pictures of everyone.
He says, but he's lying.
Yeah, I'm always in the darkest corners, trying to like snipe you from afar.
Well, you've got a big enough lens to do it.
Honestly, that's the only thing you'll see, like...
You see like, the lens look. And then you're like, it's Pregan.
Yeah, it's like, hey, look, there's Pregan. Where? Big lens?
No, he's a sniper. You can't see him.
Size doesn't matter, guys.
I think at one day you should come in just like a full like camo outfit, like cosplay, like a ghillie suit.
A full ghillie suit and just be like, it's like a tree with a lens attached to it.
Be like, talk shit, get shot. It would be like, what's that up in the rafters? Oh, it's Pregan. We saw him this morning.
I'll be like, that's a moving bush.
What the hell is it doing in the rafters? Did you keep this place more often?
No, I'm gonna put this on my bucket list and make it happen somehow.
You need to. Yeah, but I love esports. I think I've sort of carved a name in South African scene with showcasing our esports and our gaming community. I had a chance to work with a lot of awesome people and brands and content creators. So yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think you've been making moves, and I think definitely the very professional stance you've been taking on it is kind of like a shift in terms of content creation in general in our community, which I think is a good thing for taking it forward from where we were over the past couple of years. So it's cool, people like you and like Sam Wright and like Grant Hines take the stuff really seriously, and it's just cool to see because it just adds to that notion that geek culture is just not just fun and games. There's some seriousness to it, and there's philosophizing and there's money involved, and it can be a professional way of going about your life. So that's what I look up to you for in the geek culture space, because you're doing things that are pretty cool.
Thanks, man.
You are the goal.
Hashtag goals.
The pressure you guys put me under. The pressure. Oh, expectations are like here.
No, you're already meeting expectations. At this point, it's just about just time, because a lot of good things just take time. You can't force or rush some stuff.
A lot of good things just come to an end.
Especially now that we're under lockdown.
100%. I'm not sure with this complexion if you can see me blushing. I'm blushing right now.
Right now you're very pixelated, so I think that's either helping you.
Blushing. Camera's like, what the fuck is that? That's not a dude.
I'm gonna blur it.
It's trying
Thank God for lag.
The only person who ever said that. So what's been your best and your worst experience doing what you do?
Wow. I've been doing this for about 3 years and 6 months now, professionally. And I think what's been happening now, I'll start with my worst experience. This is actually one of the worst experiences in the industry that I've faced so far. And not just from a monetary perspective of, losing contracts or anything like that, but it's literally seeing the disappointment, of the fans, the gamers, the geeks, for the conventions being cancelled or postponed to a later date. Obviously, Comic-Con Cape Town, and you can't blame them because we're trying to save lives. And I think it's been chaotic for me. And I think in my career as an esports photographer or just a content creator within the geek and gaming space, this has been by far one of the worst experiences that I've ever felt. Having to obviously literally put everything on pause and just ride this wave out until everything gets back to some sort of normality. But that's the worst of it. I think one of my best experiences would be just bumping into all you awesome people at the conventions and that know me and that come to say hi, or just the thrill of shooting these massive, awesome esport events that are hosted in South Africa, or even the smaller ones. It's always such an it's that ability to just be a fly on the wall when there's epic gaming matches taking place and just feeling the energy of the crowd and of the players alike. It's one of the most awesome feelings that I'll never get anywhere else.
Nice.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. It is a unique experience, and I'm sure for you it's a very unique position to be in that not many people might get the chance to actually be involved in something like this or in this capacity. But I'm sure there's upsides and downsides to it, because I remember at Comic-Con Africa and at Raid you were exceptionally busy. and tired and exhausted and running around. So I'm guessing like some of the like just getting to experience the con is much more difficult for you these days.
It is. I mean, I would love to take in more of the con. That's part of the reason why I stay so late. But I mean, if you're carrying this big ass bag around on your back the entire time, and you got a camera with a big lens strapped to your neck, it's you do get tired. And I think I wouldn't say if you don't train yourself to, number one, do your job, but also take in what's going on around you. It can definitely get you start getting tired really quickly. You burn out from all the energy drinks that you have. Shout out to all the organizers out there that load the fridges up with those, because it really goes a long way. But I think it's just it's an amazing experience, coming to a con early, leaving late. And I mean, like I said, seeing all you awesome people always makes it worth the while, having people to talk to in the media room and share the free Wi-Fi. It's always awesome.
For sure, we had some really cool moments in the media room. And the free food.
And the free food, and the free food.
Sometimes.
Big up to the organizers for that. That's also a big one. Chicken Wingers, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good time. Sorry, I have to.
AKA Tom.
AKA Tom. He is one of the regulars at the events that we go to.
Hello.
You guys all usually the Spider-Man. Actually, he plays the Spider-Man. Like one of the, I think he's the Dark Spider-Man from one of the other universes. But he's live on, well, not live. He's here in the chat. So hello.
Is that Tom Matambo?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's up, boy? I know that guy.
What's up, boy?
I kind of know him, but I know him.
I do like that. But yeah, it's been like it's a serious. I'm running on the rest of that conversation. The whole the chats that I go over with chats, the cons that they were talking about. I completely. It's a heavy burden to actually bear when you're carrying all those. Especially when we walk into the media lounge and we're just like having a sip of coffee or something like that, because we're just walking around and interviewing people.
And then you come in with like a sip and then...
No, he'll walk in towards the end and he'll just sit down and he'll be like, guys, I'm dead.
And that's day one.
And that's
day one, yeah.
You gotta throw the respect out for that, because it takes a lot. I
think Pregan is the number one exhausted person.
There's only one other set of people that I have a lot of respect for at cons, besides the media personnel that are like carrying heavy bags or cameras, and that is the cosplayers that have to stay in their costumes for the entire duration of that convention. That's insane.
Yeah. Especially the competition cosplayers, because they do some hectic stuff. Yeah, it's not for me. Like I don't envision myself being in any type of cosplay anytime soon, simply because it's just so much work. And it's a rundown, like for months, trying to like get all of these pieces that you need to put together, sourcing all of these things, building all of these things, and then you go and stand there for like 10 minutes while people judge you on what you built. No, it's for a different type of person, I think. I think, if I had to like cosplay, I'm just gonna like commission somebody else to do it for me, and I'll just rock up with the thing ready made. I'm not making anything like that right now.
Nah, respect.
Yeah.
Well, the easy way to look at it is we all technically cosplay, because we pretend to be other people that we're not. Because like we're the SA Geeks, you're Headshot Hustle, you're Geekoscopy or Choose. We all have real names and real jobs.
Real lives.
Technically, we cosplay, but
we cosplay as content creators.
We cosplay as ourselves.
Yeah. So Chicken Wingers says Headshot is the most up-con cameraman ever. 10 out of 10.
I agree.
Thanks, man. I'm blushing again.
You can see the camera just started pixelating again.
On cue.
And he also agrees saying that he could never make his fighting costume.
Don't sell yourself short. Seriously, Tom, you can.
I'm sure you
Well, you
could.
could, you
It'll
can't.
just take a lot of time and money. Like it is possible,
Yeah.
but you would have to learn like all these new techniques and spend all this money. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not like that people just can't do it. It's just that there's certain people who find it really fun, and those are the people who tend to excel at it.
Yeah.
But it's expensive, and in terms of time and money.
You see, that's why I don't mind playing games for people, because that's easy. By the way, did you guys watch me playing Train Simulator?
No, not yet.
I didn't, but I did see a post. It looked cool.
Train some.
It's actually quite fun when there's people talking to me and I'm
Worst
playing.
2 hours.
She
Like,
hated every minute of it.
What I did see on YouTube was there was like a 33-minute speed run of Doom, and I was just thinking about Kez and how she was like stuck on one level for half an hour. And I was like, whoa, these people are actually completing the games in half an hour. I don't know if that's mean, but that just came to my mind at that point. I was like,
That's mean, bruh. That is mean.
I apologize. I'm
I
sorry,
know what I mean, but it's great.
but it's funny as well.
I haven't touched the game since that day, by the way.
I mean,
She's so cute. Oh, she won't play.
If I was you, I would have been done with that game too. I told you guys about was I telling you
Platform.
no, Darksiders 2. Like there was a mission.
Dark Souls is worse.
No, there was a mission in Darksiders 2 where there was like a worm thing that like goes underneath the sand and stuff, and I played that thing for like hours and I couldn't beat it. I was like, I'm done. Anybody got time for this? So I feel you. Like if I was you on that level, I would have given up, try to get my money back. I'd be like, I'm done.
Well, the nice thing is that we didn't actually pay for it. We
Yeah,
got it as a copy from Gabby.
Yeah.
So we do
So big ups to
essentially
Kenny
have
Cross.
it so that we can get a review out, but it's not anytime soon.
Kiss is the one cutting off there. I'll probably be like,
Yeah, he'll just go
I'll be like, yeah, it was a good game. I enjoyed it. A bit short, but I enjoyed it. It was quite fun. Yeah, you know me.
Kids sitting there for like 1 hour.
That's why I'm dreading letting her games that I actually have played through. And she's like, oh, I want to play it. It looks pretty cool. I'm like, you're gonna cut. You're not gonna be able to do it. Look at Hellblade. Did you see how badly she was doing in Hellblade? She kept handing me the controller. Look, fix it. I got it.
Some parts in Hellblade are difficult.
Senua is about to
Yeah,
die.
Senua is almost dead because.
But that game, like, there's like difficulty spikes that come out of nowhere. Like, it's fine at the start, and then suddenly it gets difficult, and then you're like, why? Like,
Yeah, none. I've had that experience.
She handed me the controller. I had not done a single fight. I'm just. She hands me the controller, and it's like, yeah, fight for me. It's like, how?
alright.
Yeah.
Okay, so, who or what inspired you to actually start your photography and do sports photography and all that? Did someone inspire you, or did you actually decide, I'm gonna try this?
Okay, so a couple of months before, I actually had the idea to go into this whole thing of shooting conventions and niching into esports. I used to shoot weddings and parties and corporate functions as a side hustle. And I started watching a lot of Sam. That's where I actually started watching a lot of Sam's videos in that time. And she was covering a lot of pieces about South African esports. And I think at the time she was tracking Bravado's progress at the time. And I was like, I've always been a casual gamer, just, besides being a geek. And that really struck me, that there was a local South African esports scene. And then I wanted to sort of find out how could I apply what I currently know or have my expertise into esports. And I started contacting people. But to answer your question, it was definitely Samantha Wright. A lot of her stuff actually inspired me to, get into esports and gaming. So shout out to Tickle, by the way.
Tickle doing the things.
He's got to bring that into his room.
I did.
We don't have this
Hopefully he's not
one.
crying outside my door.
We don't have Lord Destructo.
I mean, there's not much you can do. There's no like background you can jump on.
Hey,
There's a fan right there. Go jump on.
He hasn't attacked that yet, thankfully.
He was waiting for the stream so that he could go and attack it.
Press his daddy off. Yeah, no, it's good. It's fun. Let's see. What was the next question? How did you get the idea for Headshot Hustle?
So I thought on playing like a curveball. Oh, that was a I should have read the briefing.
Should have, yeah.
I should have. So yeah, I thought I'd have a play on words. So headshot, obviously, in the gaming scene, or in gaming, is obviously a quick kill with a shot to the head. In photography, it's obviously a photo of anything from the neck up to your head. So headshot and hustle, because I like to work hard at whatever I do. So headshot hustle. And that's how I got the name.
It works on so many levels. Like,
it just works, yeah.
because you're also taking pictures of people who are hustling for headshots as well. So
Exactly,
it's just multiple. Like, that's what I like about it. It's like, okay, this is a well thought out name that just works in multiple dimensions.
It is, yeah, rather. It's a good way to put it. Alright, so we're gonna jump onto some news just because we feel like it. Andrew, you had the news. What was the one thing that you wanted?
So, for those of you who do know, for those of you who don't know, this weekend, a lot of streamers and content creators participated in something called Streamers for Cancer. It was initially set up for Rusty Pie Lover and Thief to do a collab together. And it kind of just exploded. They opened it up to the community, and they decided they're going to do a 24-hour fundraiser to obviously raise funds for cancer. And they then, between the two of them, they discussed it and opened it up to the community to see who else would like to get involved. That's why hashtag Streamers for Cancer came about. And I think there were so many people. Even Tunes got involved. We got involved. It ran from 8 p.m. South African Friday to 8 p.m. South African time on Saturday, so the 3rd to the 4th of April. And I think people are still donating.
Yeah.
Currently, we are sitting on just over 20,000 rand raised for cancer.
Wow.
And I think really
it's amazing.
Cool. Within the actual 24 hours, I think they got to 16, more or less.
Which is 1,000 over what they actually wanted to first place.
5,000.
5,000.
The goal was
the original.
10,000. 10,000 rand within the 24 hours. And then, as far as I know, within the stream, everyone got to 16. And like I said, it's still open because I think it was last night or this morning I saw that on 20. It's actually over the 20,000 mark, which is really cool because it also just shows again that the community, the geek and gaming community, is still willing to do all these little charity events and do things for others, because obviously due to the lockdown, Creators United is postponed until further notice. But then this came along, and it's nice to see that people still want to get involved in this, and it just brought everyone closer in the community, I think, as well.
Yeah, so hats off to you guys. Tunes, well done. You also...
And Tom,
well done. Well done to you as well. You did a great job.
Everybody. I'm pretty sure we'll hit that 30,000 max by the end of it.
But I can't. I mean, I'm not going to talk for myself. We didn't do it.
we had like this whole setup, and then
of course we had to move the lounge as well, so we couldn't quite finish the stream.
It happens.
We'll try and make up for it.
Yeah, well, we are planning a few things. But
yeah, once I get up and running with streaming properly as well, I'm planning my own charity streams. My mainstream is going to be Animal Welfare Society in PE, because I used to go and volunteer there on Sundays. I used to go walk the dogs and stuff, so that's a more personal charity for me. So once I get up and running and get some consistency with the streaming, I'm going to organize my own stuff as well. And it's just a cool thing that happens in this culture, okay, you'll be playing video games and people are getting tipped, just for playing video games online. And obviously people want to hang out with them and see, just talk and stuff like that. So I feel like it's one of those things where it's so easy to do good using this medium, because the platform has made it easy to donate money. So it then makes it easy to then donate to charity. The 24-hour stuff is hype, and it's just a very interesting thing. I want to take a look at it more philosophically in the future to see how it came about, because it's really fascinating. It's really difficult to do this sort of thing on other platforms, on this sort of thing doesn't happen on Instagram or YouTube. It's a thing that is very original and unique to Twitch, and it's very fascinating how it comes about. But that's just me and my science brain pulling itself into it. But yeah,
it's cool, man.
It's a really cool thing.
Yeah. No, you do. You have a very, very good point there. I agree. Some other news though. Resident Evil 3 has released.
Okay.
I'm excited for that. I am really excited.
I have zero interest in this whatsoever.
Why?
Because he hates horror games.
I do not. It's not that I hate horror games. I do not see the point of horror games in my life. There's I have no space for them.
In other words, you hate them.
No, hating would be I don't want it to exist. That is not a true statement. I'm fine with other people playing it. It's just that me, I've got no time. Anybody got time for that?
He detests horror games.
If you're gonna get technical.
No, so yes, with Resident Evil 3 coming out, I've been playing a lot of Resident Evil 2 because I grew up as a kid playing that game. My first PlayStation, that was one of the games, it was the very first games I ever got with that PlayStation, was Resident Evil 2. And I played that game to death. And when I played the new one, I shat bricks. I didn't think I'd get as many fights as I did in this game. And it wasn't just fights, it was also when you run away from the tyrants. I shat myself! Because, I thought I was running away from him at one point, and there he is, poof, door! And I ran right into him. So, I can't wait to see what they do with Nemesis, because, he's just as bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a very interesting one. Your thoughts, Pregan? Since you're the only other one that wants to play Resident Evil.
I can't wait. But I think for me, my benchmark will always be Resident Evil 2. Because I think for me, just set that benchmark so high. So personally speaking, and also growing up with Resident Evil, that's always been my benchmark. But yeah, I'll guess I can only play it and then give a true review on it after I played it. But I'm really, really liking Doom so far. Doom Eternal is insane.
Yeah, Doom's your kind of game.
I had to talk to Capcom though. What they've done is, look at Resident Evil 2. What they did with it, there was no added DLC. There's no buy this one next because this is here's Leon's campaign. Now you must buy Claire's campaign. They didn't do that. They didn't break anything apart and make you buy those kinds of things separately. The DLC was literally like cosmetic stuff, which is quite nice. It was good to see that they actually added that kind of stuff to it. And I'm assuming that they're going to do the same thing with 3 because they've realized that the gamers really like them.
And don't get me started on them.
And don't get Claire started on 3. She suffers with that. Yeah, and then
Prigs, what do you like about horror? Can you explain to me what do you like about horror games?
I think it's the whole survival aspect of it, and just trying not to seem scared when your family is walking around and watching you play and catching skrik, while you are like the zombie that just unexpectedly opens the door. So it's that adrenaline rush. I mean, it's like Ross said, it's you play it for that adrenaline rush of just something unexpected happening. Yeah.
Okay.
Now for me, it is similar. It's the same rush kind of feel that you get, but it's more the anxiety when something's chasing you. I love that, thinking that I am that character. And I'm fucking away. I like that. It's fun for me.
Yeah, it's all fun in games until you're out of bullets and all you got is a flashlight to just beat somebody on the head.
You got a very army grade flashlight.
I love Joba, man. What you gonna do?
Even the flashlight is a weapon.
It seems everyone on the stream said that I was playing the game live, so I'm going to be doing it. But
You should
I'm going
do
to
it.
play the game with Kez. She's going to be in the lounge with me.
That's gonna be interesting.
The lights are all going to be off as well. No, I'm kidding. They can't. If they were
How are
all
we gonna
off,
see
we would
your
have-
reactions if the light is
We
off?
have a ring light.
No, but then I wouldn't be able to see the screen.
We'll
All
make
I
a
see is
plan.
bright light in my face.
We'll make a plan. So the next question.
All right.
Oh, nice segue. See, nice segue, my angel.
Fire away.
Are you asking it? Or am I asking it?
Hmm.
There's no escaping.
Last year,
The time has come.
Oh.
Ting.
we went to Rage.
Dun, dun,
Kez and I had already announced that we were leaving it and that we were moving to Scotland. So, Pregan, Geekoscopy, and a whole I think
You cut out
We
there so
wanna
I
get
couldn't
you
hear the
guys-
list.
It's like everyone is listening.
to out as a farewell.
But it was a bonus because Geekoscopy wanted to try South Africa.
Yeah,
Not South
South
Africa.
African Joburg.
Java.
Joburg Bunny. Yeah.
Yeah, so at that point we recorded a video. Well, Pregan recorded a video.
Fish.
Vish and Pregan recorded the video. It worked out somewhere on the line. My question is, where's that video? And why the fuck haven't we seen it yet?
Okay. Can I explain myself? Because
Yes.
wow, I've been getting carrots since last week. In Zaid's interview, I think when Zaid was on the show, you
Yeah.
guys were like questioning. Okay, so here's the truth. I have all the raw footage,
Yeah.
but it has been sitting on a hard drive that was misplaced for a couple of months. It has been found.
Oh dear. Oh, I see.
And I will be sending all those raw files through to Geekoscopy over there, and he will be editing it very soon, meaning he'll get it tomorrow morning. But we have it. And Ross, just to let everyone know, they will definitely see you sweat in that video after you had the hot mutton curry. Or was it? I think he had butter chicken.
You had butter chicken.
Didn't have
You
one.
had butter chicken.
I think it was butter chicken, or you had a bunny chow.
We had the mild one.
I had the most mild buttered chicken. I was like,
Yeah.
I was smiling and eating my
We
food
were
happily.
laughing.
It was Zadie. Zadie cucked himself because he had that hot mutton
Yeah,
with that hot mutton,
tears running
Yeah.
and he was
down.
crying because it was so hot.
Yeah.
But you do
So-
have to screw around with something else.
I do have the video, so I will give it to you guys where you can edit it and air it on the show at a later date. But you'll definitely get it tomorrow.
We'll do a
Jesus actually
premiere.
set up a nice video that is popular.
We should have like a premiere and I think Jonathan Harding was in that as well.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
And the funny thing
Yeah.
is, he literally inhaled.
And he had the
That's
same
true.
as you guys, and he wasn't struggling at all.
Yeah, he was just like, I want more.
Jonah can handle the heat, eh?
No, I was surprised.
He's got charo in his blood, like, and he can,
Yeah.
and that bra can chow as well. Like you put anything in front of him, he will chow it. He's got
Yeah.
yeah. I had a different respect for Jonah after that night.
I don't know if you guys want me to play a segment of that video while we live,
No.
or keep it okay.
Didn't know.
Oh, why not?
Why?
We listen to the boss over here. Yeah. He needs to make it look good.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
You
Oh,
pointed
yes.
Because Zay did tell me that there was some language in there that is not that great.
Yes, there was the language was very colorful. It was
Yeah,
very colorful.
yeah.
I don't know if it was the masala in the bunny chow that was making everyone speak that way, but yeah.
Well, the thing is, we were all after hours, so we were just hanging out and chilling, and we were talking nonsense.
Hey, look, you know what? To be honest, we use worse language on the channel.
Probably. Well, you have, Ross, not me. Not me and Kez, it's you.
No, well, yes, I'm allowed. This is our channel.
This is true.
Everyone wasn't on brand after they ate that bunny chow. They were
No,
just like, yeah,
no.
yeah.
No one was on brand.
Yeah, no,
We-
let's stop with the game.
That's when you do like the other paparazzi people if we were famous. They're like, oh, we're waiting for them. Oh, they said it's a bad word.
Yeah, no, then we can just start with the rest of our
That's
lives.
the video that takes all of us down.
But in all seriousness, the people in Swadesh in that restaurant actually thought we were like all like celebrities or something because of like how everyone was talking and taking pictures and,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, let's just go with it. Let's run with it.
Yeah.
Go with the flow, why not?
No, we own that restaurant. We took it over.
Yeah. I was telling the waiter, do you not know who this Indian guy is? He's like this big Bollywood actor. He's like the Indian Superman. And I was like pointing to Zayd. He's like the Indian Superman.
Yeah. He's like our Rajnikant. That's what you have to be Charo to get that joke.
I'm just laughing because you guys look great.
That's an inside joke.
That's brutal.
Oh yeah, so Pregan, some sad news for us.
It's funny because like Rajnikant is like the opposite of a hero. He's like
It's like Brightburn.
There's like Brightburn, yeah. The sad thing is we don't have bunny chow here. We've got Indian restaurants, but none of them sell any kind of bunny chow. So what we decided we're going to do is we're going to get curry with no rice and buy loaves of bread and make half loaves and make our own bunny chow.
That's all you need. And then you need to just get some, we call it carrot salad. So like grate some carrots and then like slice up some chilies and a little bit of vinegar, just mix that up and like you in it to win it.
Some onions
You
as
are
well.
in it to win it.
Consider it done. But I mean, the whole thing is they have some really, the butter chicken here. They're
It's
like,
actually hotter.
we said we want mild butter chicken.
I found that
Dude,
interesting, yeah.
it was not mild. Not at all.
How's the food in Scotland? So,
Hey?
how's the food? Not Scotland. Why do I keep thinking Scotland? You guys are in the UK, right?
Scotland.
Scotland.
I mean Scotland. Damn it, Scotland.
You had it right the first time.
Blonde moment. How is the food, you guys?
Well, it depends on what you go for, but it's pretty decent. I mean, I don't mind the food. I've eaten my native food. Haggis. Absolutely love it.
Do you eat it
everyone's like,
regularly
"Oh,
now?
But it's cooked
every
in a
week?"
sheep's stomach. It's like, yeah, and
But it doesn't get served in a sheep's stomach, which
they can do. They will do that. If you wanted it served in a sheep's stomach, they'll do that. But they generally just they take it out of the sheep. Like,
it kind of just looks like mince.
yeah, it's like minced mutton essentially. It's actually quite nice. Haggis is very nice. But yeah, to give you less of a worry, Pregan, because Scotland's part of the UK. So
You were right both times. You were doubly right.
Okay, I suck at geography, so
That's fine.
Google Maps.
Scotland,
You were right,
Wales,
though.
England, and Northern Ireland are all the United Kingdom.
Okay. What is your greatest achievement or something that you're proud of?
Wow. My greatest achievement would have had to be when my work started getting featured by Red Bull and getting featured on Logitech G's website, obviously through Sam Wright. So those are some of my really cool achievements, is having my work, published by these big brands. Was one of my biggest achievements.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. So Chicken Wingers said that butter chicken.
With a question mark.
Oh, with a question mark. So I just want to say, no, it's not supposed to be hot. But I don't think the Indian restaurants here get not hot is. Because you guys, you don't understand how hot their food is. My loves chili. Was cucking when he had one of the vegetarian curries that he had. He was shitting himself. He said it was hot as hell. And that's my brother who loves chili. I want you two to come up here and just try it. Just once.
Yeah,
try
I'm super curious now.
I'm curious. I'm gonna Google some
Scottish butter chicken.
Yeah, Scottish butter chicken.
No.
Do they put Scotch bonnets in there? Maybe that's what they're doing. They're putting Scotch bonnets in the butter chicken. It would be on brand for them to do that.
Yeah, no, but it was quite. I mean, okay, for me it was spicy. The butter chicken was. Okay.
It was fucking hot.
Here you go. It was fucking hot.
I can't. And Tom says he can't wait to see you featured in more places.
Oh, thanks a lot, Tom.
In all the places.
All the places, yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna start pixelating again.
You actually
It's happening. It's happening. It's so weird.
It's so weird because you were fired like a few seconds ago.
And now you pixelated again. Right, talking about being pixelated in life, all of us are currently now officially in lockdown due to the coronavirus. So I want to know, how is everybody dealing with this? How is this affecting them? What are the ups and downs of being in this situation? That it's, I don't think anything like this has ever happened to us before, has it? This is a new experience. So let's start with you, Pregs. What's going down there up in Jersey with the lockdown?
Well, yeah, the SANDF has been pretty intense around here. Obviously, seeing all these military vehicles patrol, it's kind of like a scene from V for Vendetta. I could be, over dramatic, but just going to the shop to go buy bread, it's kind of weird seeing a whole bunch of SANDF vehicles on the road, or the SAPS patrolling quite often. It's been weird, but it's I think been week one and a half now of actually being in lockdown, and it's sort of it's sort of like setting into that way of life of how things are. So I mean, getting questioned where you're going, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go buy bread, I'm gonna go buy some food quickly and get back home. It's really weird. I think what's been getting me through this is definitely a lot of PlayStation, a lot of Call of Duty, Warzone. So I have just been playing Warzone, and that's been just keeping me out of trouble.
All right.
And you too?
Well, me, it's been rough because I don't. I decided it's probably best to spend this time with family. So just when the lockdown was announced to happen at midnight on Friday, I was like, I need to get home by latest Thursday. So I just got in my car, put my cat and my bags and my stuff, my computers, my PlayStation, and I was like, just take as much of my life and take it to Durban. The upside is that I'm getting some quality time in with my family, which is nice. My dad's birthday was last week, and I haven't been able to be here for my dad's birthday in probably 6 years.
Wow.
So there's definitely upsides. Downsides is that this is causing a lot of anxiety because the future is so up in the air right now. We don't know what's going to happen. I have really very little trust that this lockdown will only last 3 weeks. I think it'll be a bad idea if it only lasts 3 weeks, given that the curve is not flattening. I'll add a look at the graph today, and it's still going up. There's no obviously there's a lag involved, but the thing is, they're only starting mass testing now. Like, we don't even know, because this is such a unique situation because the symptoms for COVID-19 are the same as like flu symptoms. So if you be like, oh, I just got the sniffles, and you don't go test, and you walk around like nothing is like wrong, and then also there is an incubation stage where you have it, and you could be, giving it to other people, but you don't know. It's just such a situation where like all of a sudden there could be a plus 1,000 cases in a day. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully, it stays low. But given the unique situation in South Africa with like, informal settlements and rural areas and people packed tightly together, and our our medical system probably not fit for something like this, it's really worrying. So just trying to keep that out of my mind is a whole job unto itself. So yeah, being productive during this time is actually also difficult because of that, but I think I'm getting back into the groove from this week. So we'll see. It's kind of like all happening, like what is going to happen, and then we got other things happening with South Africa, like our economy is tanking, and like our credit rating turned to junk, and like this country is going to be so different at the end of the year. It's going to be a different South Africa, and hopefully it's not going to be like a terrible different. Hopefully like we make some changes that actually help us going forward and we don't get too damaged, but we can only cross our fingers and hope.
Yeah.
How's it up in the UK?
We're working, so
Yeah.
we've got key jobs though.
Hey, Rusty. Sending some love.
What's up,
Always-
Rusty?
What's up, Rusty?
Rusty.
My boy.
Rusty, give us an update on the cancer numbers.
Yeah, Rusty, we were talking
Give us
about-
some good news, because we were talking about bad news just now.
Yeah, but it'll take a while for the message to come through, I think. So we could say, Liz and I are working in key fields at the moment, key positions at the moment. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're actually doing like a whole bunch of disinfecting stuff like that. So
And
Yeah, that's a unique experience. I don't know anyone else who's in a key job
yeah,
right
it's
now.
different. It is very different. And look, we don't have masks and stuff because we don't need that. We're not anywhere near people.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're grabbing hold of pumps and we're just cleaning them and disinfecting them with.
yeah.
with
Basically, anything that someone can touch, we have to make
Yeah.
sure it's
Touch
disinfected
points,
and
we clean.
sanitized.
So essentially, what we're doing is we're cleaning anywhere where someone will touch. If you even think they might touch that spot, disinfect it, no matter where it is. So I've gone on a like full-on cleaning spree on my side. I like literally, if I think that someone will touch it, I'll wash it. But yeah, it's different.
Yeah,
you know?
it's not as strict as with you guys though. So I
mean,
think
it is.
it
It's
is,
not.
but not like the army's not riding around here and
Yeah,
stuff.
the
with the
enforcement
bodies.
is not the
Yeah,
same.
but
Police are
even
doing much
then,
work, yeah.
you don't see them as often as you.
Every day.
Okay, well wait, we work half an hour away from each other. So he's more in a centralized place. I'm not.
I'm in the biggest city.
Yeah, you're in a bigger city. I'm not, so I don't see it as much. But I did actually have someone because I was waiting for veg week, and I was sitting on the bench, and I had a picture come and ask me why my kid was sitting. I'm just on veg week. He's like, oh, okay, no, it's fine. Well, not in those, but he said just stay safe and stay away from people and stuff.
Yeah.
So it is quite scary sometimes, especially also going back to South Africa because it's very close to me. My uncle actually works in one of the hospitals in Pregan, and
Wow.
he
Sorry, we lost the video there for a second.
he was telling us that there's X amount of cases. I can't say because obviously it's not released
Confidential,
yet.
so
Yeah.
But he said that there's X amount of cases where he lives, and he has to wear the mask and the hat and all that when just a normal person comes in because you never know, which is quite scary. My uncle really hits close to home, and we're all the way here, so I can't really see if something happens. But
Yeah.
it's frustrating because sometimes people don't really pay attention to it, and I think that's something that everyone all across get is that no matter how old you are, you can get affected. So the people aren't saying what they're saying for the shits and giggles of it. They're actually saying it keep everyone safe.
I mean, 2 people our age died recently here in the UK. So it just shows you it doesn't matter what your age is.
I think it's a lot worse than what we initially thought it was. Like, I was more worried about like the perception of the virus than the actual virus before, but now I am terrified of the actual virus as well. So yeah, it is not a thing to be taken lightly, and I think the world is learning that the hard way, especially the US, because the US was so slow to react, and now they are the number 1 infected. Apparently, we don't know the actual numbers in China. But as far as actual reported numbers, the US is up there, and they are still slow to put like things in place. I mean, Trump's been saying like he wants to open the country for Easter, and everybody's like, for who? Like, why are you going to do that?
Look, it's for one thing, for me, it's terrifying because I never know if someone's going to just like cop on me or anything at any point, because I might not be looking and someone will just like pass me and just cop in my direction, So for us, Karen and myself, we've got that one worry that if that happens,
I actually started coughing, like badly coughing, but it's because of the change of season, and
she has a cold, guys.
I cough when I get cold. As well. I'm cold. I start to cough. It's something I've done my entire life. And
it's also very phlegmy though. It's definitely not a.
And he actually shook me while I was sleeping because I was sleep coughing. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm fine.
Well, how would you know? How would you know if you got corona? Like, you're like, are you okay? I don't know. I had a similar scare coming to Durban because I have a really nasty like dust allergy to the Durban air. So like I knew it was gonna happen, but like it happened in conjunction with like, okay, I'm having a bad nose day, but also it's causing me to like not breathe properly. I have had like, what do you call it? Like labored breathing. But it was just the allergy, and I was fine the next day. But I was like, what is happening? That day.
But it's weird, right? Because you just start coughing and you just start getting so paranoid about
exactly.
what I have.
Yeah, I know. That's what happened to me today, because I'm coughing, and I'm feeling under the weather, but it's not what everyone would think it would be. It's a cold, because I've looked at The Simpsons about 1 million times, and
you just go back and you check.
You just go back and double check, and it's a dry cough.
Yeah.
I've got lots of phlegm in my throat right now. Yeah. It's the change of the seasons. It's the worst time for me, because I will get sick during this time. And it just happens to be that it's coinciding with a very bad cold that's going around as well. I mean, it's just not lucky, really.
And the fact that we have to wake up as well and go and do outside, and
we're outside of the cold.
We had the perfect room.
I'm actually for the first time gonna leave the house tomorrow, so I'm gonna try and put some Mad Max gear on and like try and stay.
May the odds ever be in your favor. So.
Don't forget your flashlight.
My flashlight.
You'll need one of these.
I need one of those.
It's called the zombie beater.
It's gonna be interesting. I'll be exceptionally cautious and buy enough groceries for like the rest of the lockdown. If the lockdown lasts.
Don't be that guy with the toilet paper, though, eh? Like
no, I'm talking more about food than toilet paper.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna buy enough groceries.
People actually seem to have been not stocking up on toilet paper, because we went to the shops this afternoon with my sister-in-law, and we actually saw like quite a bit of toilet paper in the shop.
Yeah, but this is what I think.
The panic
buyers. They bought way too much toilet paper. Now they have toilet paper for the next 5 years. And they're like,
well, at some point, like, you're gonna run out of money and you're gonna run out of space. Like, there's only so much toilet paper you can actually have in your house.
I think almost like panic buyer. They're worried. They came into the petrol station today. They're worried that the fuel's gonna run out. The dipshits don't realize this is Scotland. They have their own oil field. and there's a refinery down the road from the petrol station. You guys might, but we're not going to run out of petrol because we've got oil fields and a refinery. We're good.
Yeah. Our petrol price actually dropped this month.
Tom says,
Was
do
weird.
we think it's going to be extended for longer? He needs sushi runs with friends.
Indeed. I think it's gonna get extended.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm kind of hoping it gets extended just because of the unique situation South Africa is in, where we could just have an explosion all of a sudden if it hits the townships. But there's downsides to that because work has to get done, people have to get paid, rent has to get paid, bills got to get paid. So it's like we're in a really, really weird situation in life right now.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there that don't have the luxury to work from home or, create content from home. A lot of people, have to actually be out and about, and some companies or some businesses are actually, going to close because of this. That's
it's already happening. I mean, did you guys see that interview with the CEO of Edcon or Edgar's? Like, he was basically in tears telling all his suppliers,
I saw that.
telling his suppliers that they are not going to have money to pay you guys, and those people are counting on that money.
That's crazy.
So a lot of people are going to go out of business in the next few months, if this goes any longer.
That's crazy. It's like I feel terrible for you guys especially, but for anyone losing their jobs. A lot of people are going on furlough, which is kind of nice for the company to actually do. Companies to do. Putting them on furlough actually gives them a bit of advantage. Because then they know that they're going to have a job when they go back. But that's if they even are able to go back.
Whether the company's open or not.
The company may just close down completely. But it's really sad to see that so many people are going to actually suffer the way they are.
Look, it is, like you said, it's a horrible situation because, especially in South Africa, it's a good idea to have it extended so that an explosion doesn't happen like it is in Spain and in Italy and things like that. Obviously, it's different scenarios. Older people versus the townships and all that, but it's still old people there as well. Same situation though. It is good to try and lock it down, but
and immunocompromised
how long
people.
Can you survive without earning an income? How long can you survive without actually bringing in that revenue? It's a catch-22. It sucks. It's horrible. It really is.
Because all those people that live in the townships are people who go do minor jobs for other people's, like domestic workers and gardeners and builders and if nothing is being built and if people are staying indoors, like how are they gonna survive? And it's good that the government does have or is trying to do something with the finances and the relief funds and the grants and stuff. And I will give props to South African government. Like, they are stepping up with this thing. They didn't wait too long. Obviously, you can always look back and say, oh, we could have done stuff earlier. But, if we started later, it would have been so much worse. And they've been putting things in place and trying to figure stuff out. Obviously, it's not perfect. But, what can you do in this situation? This is such a unique situation.
I think we were really proactive. We were super proactive. So I was pretty happy with the president's game plan.
I'm happy that the government.
I didn't catch any of that. Can you repeat that?
Hey?
I didn't catch any of that. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, you just cut out there for a minute.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm happy that the South African government stops the way it has, but I kind of understand why they've done it, because they cannot afford to have their population ravaged by this disease now. The amount of money the country's already going to lose, and the fact that the ANC and the government themselves do not have the money to be able to pay everything like the UK has, like the United States have. They don't have that kind of money to just throw away. They don't have those kinds of coffers because those are in the back pocket. Well, we're not going to mention names.
No, let's not get too
They're in their back
political.
pocket. And that's the problem. There is no money to spare in South Africa. So it's good that they actually did it. They did it for the wrong reasons.
Tom also says either way he thinks Cyril made a good call to create the lockdown when he called for it. If the lockdown gets extended, then yay, as long as you can handle it.
Exactly, I agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? I'd rather everyone be safe. I don't care how. I don't care where. I don't care what safe. I do not want to see my friends. I don't want to lose any of my friends to the stupid.
Now it's your turn, Pregan.
You cut off their kids?
It's your turn. We've had our say. Now your turn.
I've had my rant.
I have nothing to rant about. I'm just super grateful I actually made it on this show. I mean, like, I'm here now. I was here. Now I'm here. It's like,
started from the bottom, now we're here.
This came from the one who was like, yeah, I can't make it either. I can't make it either. So the only reason why you're here is because you finally made it. The lockdown actually got you.
I was cursed with load shedding, fam. Like, we were load shedded for so many weeks.
Yeah. One of the many problems. But on that note of moving up through life, if you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice to your past self, and that might help other people who are trying to aspire to do something like you do, what would that advice have been to early Preg, young Preg?
Not to wait and put something out until it's perfect, because I think sometimes you focus on creating content that is so perfect that you don't end up putting it out there. And I think sometimes you just gotta make something and put it out there. And if it's not at that standard that it's supposed to be at that time, it's always good to know that you're gonna look back at your previous work and you're gonna level up. I think sometimes, even with a lot of photographers that come up to me and ask me, hey, how do I get started in this? And I just tell them, if you have a camera, take pictures and keep getting better at what you're doing, refine your craft. But if you're starting off in any creative industry, you got to be able to, number one, put in the work. You got to hustle. You got to make something, regardless if it's, crappy or not. And put it out there and understand that people are going to give you critique, whether it's harsh or not. Unfortunately, it comes with the territory. If you're putting something out in the public domain, expect people to say trashy things about your content. I wasn't always producing awesome. Wow, look at that! I got an ego. I wasn't always out there just shooting awesome photos. There was one point where I'm self-taught, so it's very difficult for me to put something out there, and you want everything to be perfect. You want everything edited. So I think the biggest advice that I would give to myself is just start, just do it, and put it out there, and learn from it.
That's a good piece of advice. I think Kay should take that piece of advice, because sometimes when she was, YouTube's not very active for us. She used to sit and edit the same thing about 50 times. She stopped after a while, but she used to edit the same thing over and over again because it wasn't right. This wasn't right, or that wasn't right, or this wasn't right, that wasn't right. And I eventually said to her, look, you got to take it from where I take it from, being a musician. Just go with it. If it sucks, like you said, just level up. That's all you can do. You just got to deal with the fact that eventually you're going to have sucky and shitty things, but there'll always be something else that will make it better.
I think another people also find people that you trust with your content. So if you are a YouTuber, it doesn't just apply to photography. If you love graphic design, if you want to be an awesome streamer, understand that it takes time. You're going to be crappy on your first couple of videos, but thereafter, you'll start leveling up and have a core group of people that you can trust with, honest critique. That's not just going to say stuff to break you down. So have a core group of people that you trust with your content,
Yeah.
I agree.
And you? Anything you have to put in there?
No. Do you have a favorite content creator? And if so, why?
Wow.
Put the man on the spot here.
Yeah, it's like I'm sweating.
It's
like some.
Waiting.
Am I pixelating?
Yeah.
No. Okay, so in terms of content creators in South Africa, I think obviously somebody that exposed me to this industry, obviously I've got to say Sam, right? Tekal, one of the best content creators in South Africa that started it for me. So I obviously do follow a lot of her work. And she's one of my favorites. Obviously Darth Zediban, shout out to Zed, Mr. Comic Con himself. So he's also, I love his content. And then another guy is Jonathan Ferreira. He was one of the first photographers that actually like sort of took me under his wing, sort of just gave me advice on what to do. So he also does a lot of gaming content, and I think he's possibly in Scotland as well, right? And I think he moved from South Africa that side. So Jonathan Ferreira. So check him out. And then obviously you guys, because you guys create such awesome content. So
That's just good
content
job.
creators.
On the show though.
I gotta put the plug in.
You leveled up the show just by being here.
And no, we won't.
But thank you. If
Thank
you
you.
think so, then thank you.
Yeah, if it's honest, if you really are being honest about that, then you just want to.
Nah, I mean, I'm being honest. There's a lot of content creators out there. You'll hear about them for like maybe 2 or 3 months, and then they sort of fizzle out. And that's no disrespect to anyone. But I think for me, what shows a good benchmark for a content creator is being consistent, and regardless of whatever you're going through, you're still putting out content. And I think you guys have done that. So well done, guys. And that's to all of you guys.
Yeah. And it is not easy. We'll tell you, it is not. This podcast has come with a bag of nonsense, and we've just decided to push through and see how it goes. And it ends up with fun moments of entertainment and just like togetherness. Like Monday evenings is some of my favorite times of the week, because I just get to sit around and talk geek culture with my friends and with people that I respect. So it's just that is always when it comes down to content creation, the thing that you have to always remember, like just the fun aspects of it, of why you do it, and like that helps you push through like all the tough times, like all the times where my cat is destroying my background, and where we get load shedded in the middle of the stream, or somebody like or the internet dies, or the stream just dies, and
the whole load shedding and what that wasn't actually his landlord who forgot
forget to pull airtime. It's like there's horror stories about this show.
And we're only on the 11th episode. So, yeah.
It makes for good watching.
Yeah. Hopefully all those issues were all front loaded, and from now onwards there will be good times. Cross fingers.
Yeah, well, both character. Yeah.
Tom said this is Pregan's gonna blush. Just because you're on here and you're gonna blush. But he says this podcast is also an inspiration because I always want to start a podcast but not sure where, but listening to you guys and seeing you guys, thank you all.
Guess who's gonna be on our podcast?
It's all about starting it, like Pregan said, like it's just about starting. And if you need advice, just drop a DM and we'll tell you how to.
Yeah, drop a DM. We're always available. I mean, I'm pretty sure DM is also available.
We know what.
Yeah, we know what not to do. We've made enough of ourselves and tunes.
I think we've got the basics covered. Like we know how to do this thing. It's just getting it done is always a problem.
Do it.
Just
do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Just do it,
Nike.
Just do it.
Tom, Nike. Okay. So, what are I'm going to say, what are your 2021 plans?
Hey, there's still more than half a year left. Okay.
Wow.
There's some full-on Scottish optimism for you.
2021.
No.
2020 vision.
What are
2020
your-
vision.
Okay, I'm not going to put years in. I'm just going to say, what's your vision for the future? Where do you see yourself and Headshot going?
Well, I think with Headshot Hustle, I'm sort of understanding that as a content creator, you should start as much as you have, a niche passion or, a niche market where, like in my case, it's photography. So I'd like to kind of branch out a little bit and just have fun with what I do. So photography is fun and I love it, but it's also work and it also does pay some of the bills. So I'd like to try something different that possibly either relates to the brand Headshot Hustle. But I've been thinking about learning how to DJ. So not like clubs or anything like that, but just just live stream, DJ sets.
Just mixing music. Yeah.
Just mixing music for fun. So
That's pretty epic, dude. I'd watch that.
So yeah, that's something that I'm possibly
I would as well.
in the future, but that's just purely for fun. That's not to be, that's not for any like monetary gain or influence. That's just to like have fun, play some music, have some fun.
That's epic, dude. I would watch that. I would actually, just for the shits and giggles. I mean, I'd love to.
What kind of music are you planning to mix?
Anything. So I love all types of music. And yeah, I sort of, being a geek, I love my film scores. So I love, obviously soundtracks and all of that. So like just mixing even from video games or from like series and movies and just like mashing them up. So shout out to Level Up Leroy, who's one of the Comic-Con DJs, he's one of like the really awesome DJs out there right now, who does that. So yeah, that's just a vision or something that I would love to like diversify out into in the future.
Interesting point about me. One of my best friends is actually a DJ. I forget the type of music. The DJ, I think it's house. But I actually started a DJ. Well, I didn't start it. I was the producer on a DJing podcast with my best friend and a couple of other DJs in Port Elizabeth. It's called the Freshman Cartel. I don't know if the channel is still around.
Yo. You just went gangster on us. The Freshman Cartel.
Yeah. It's DJ. Don't you want the DJ who's my friend? DJ Mozero. DJ. Who was it? MK. And
that's not DJs in my life.
That's a good song, man. That's a damn good song.
It just came to my mind now. It's like, that's so weird.
What music do you guys listen to? What do you guys like listening to?
Me, I'm weird because I've just been listening to the Witcher 3 soundtrack on repeat for the past 5 years.
That's a good soundtrack, right?
That's amazing. And yes, that song is on my playlist as well. Toss a coin to your Witcher. I listen to a lot of I listen to a lot of intro music from like shows, like from animes, from TV shows. I don't like my music taste is weird. Like I used to be like a soft rock, alternative rock. Like I like my Linkin Park and My Chemical Romance and stuff like that. But now, like most of the music, like new music that I'm kind of exposed to is music from shows or video games and stuff like that. So that's kind of where my music tastes have changed into. I don't know, like I don't even know how to discover new music anymore. At some point I just like put on like a classical music playlist and just started listening to that because I was like, I don't even know how to find new music. I don't listen to the radio or anything like that.
Man. Spotify is
they even set you up with a playlist of songs that you might like.
That I might like. Yeah. But if I don't like them, then I won't listen to you about music at all.
Kids and Ross, what do you guys listen to?
But anyway, obviously on to us now. I'm generally into the metal.
No.
But I'm eclectic, so I'll listen to pretty much any. But I like metal a lot, and I like some of my more alternative rock. So, I mean, mine ranges from live REM, Counting Crows, to post-grunge, which is Bush, Foo Fighters, all of that kind of stuff, to metal, which is like, or new metal, which is like Dracula Logic, Five Finger Death Punch. God, I'm mentioning names, I can't even remember half of them. I've got a shitload on my playlist. And then we go into the complete arbitrary and go on to full-on Nordic music, so like Wadruna and Danheim and like all the Vikings kind of music. So that's basically what I like to do.
I'm the same, except to add to that is obviously because when I was younger, I used to, from the age of 5 to 18, I was a drum majorette. So
Nothing more
being
dance music.
exposed to doing drummies, it's the uns dance music because that's what I grew up listening to. That's what you based your routines on. That eventually just comes imprinted in your brain, and you're like, oh, I like the song. And even like last night, we were busy cooking, and I'm like, the Robert Miles song from Children, for me, brings back memories of drummies. And I'm like, it's a drummy song. And things like that. So I listen to most of his music, but then it's
Not
like
willingly.
the huge jump from that to dance and trance and things like that.
Not willingly, believe me, there's some music she will not listen to. Tenacious D, for example.
No?
She despises Tenacious D. I love
What's wrong
Tenacious
with
D.
Tenacious D? I mean, you got Jack Black on guitar.
Everything.
Thank you. I agree. What's wrong with Tenacious D?
Like one of my favorite memories from going up to Joburg was that night where we all just broke into Tenacious D's song, you, me, and the mole cast, and then kids had to listen to us.
I sat there, I'm like,
Can't you see he's the man? Oh, he is more than a man. He's a shiny gold. I can't do the rest. I've got a sore throat. So
like
Sore throat.
that was like a totally different version of Bollywood Pregan. Like we did. It's like, yeah. It's
the
just,
D.
all right. So I think that was the last question. So
That was
Yeah.
the last question.
any more
Did
questions?
I make it through the gauntlet? Wow.
He made it to the end of the podcast. He didn't
Yo.
drop one response.
You guys put me under pressure, man. It's like this expectation.
You can do it. You can do it. It's easy for you. It's easy.
we could always,
Another question.
no, 30 seconds to come up with an answer.
Yeah, we could be that kind of dick, but we're not.
You
Wow.
can get
So what we are
the hourglass from the 30 seconds board game and just like flip it.
gonna
I'll do a bonus question. Come up with something on the spot.
on the spot.
Why don't you ask us this question?
I need to ask
You
guys.
see how I reversed that?
Wow. Talk about pivoting, eh? Like, that was a segue. Wow. What did you guys have for breakfast this morning?
For
Yogurt.
breakfast, yogurt.
Yeah.
I had
Wow.
I had a peanut butter and jelly dosa. If you know what a dosa is.
That is proper. That is solid right there. So it's like a pancake.
It's like a
almost.
pancake. Yeah, it's an Indian pancake. So I had an Indian pancake with peanut butter and jelly.
Okay, here's a proper question. What is your
Sorry, we
What?
didn't get that. We didn't get that. You cut out.
what is your 2020 vision for this?
Oh, jeez.
Obviously produced this year.
We've been talking about this for months now.
I feel like you guys are gonna pull out a book. Over here.
Yeah. Well, for one, it would be nice to have one of these streams without any technical difficulties. This one went pretty well, actually. This isn't like in our top tier of things going well.
Yeah.
We have 2 streams right now, actually, so it's going twice as well.
Don't jinx it, man.
We're almost done.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of jinx
End.
holes, so much
Yeah.
for now.
But yeah, like I've got so many plans when it comes to content creation and also like on the academic side, getting a lot of stuff done, publications, videos. I want to start up another podcast. that's got to do with science communication and how science is communicated in ways other than just writing a paper that nobody but the actual scientists who wrote it can understand. Things like using video games, things like using board games, things like using movies and TV series and YouTube and podcasts and stuff like that. So that's generally my 2020 vision. It's all about the stuff that I like and blending them together and putting it in a package that is congruent with my entire personality and it's not like different parts of me. It's like every part put together. I think that's like what I'm striving for 2020, like becoming kind of whole with what I do.
That's awesome, man.
He wants us to answer that. Right. Well, firstly, to get through the coronavirus thing with something to show, something that to show first. So while we're in it, showing that we are still resilient streamers and content creators, that we can still push through and still be the best that we can possibly be. That's the first thing that I actually from after finding out that we're in lockdown. I wanted to actually make sure that we can make it. But personally, I want to get my teaching qualifications done so that I can actually go and start teaching kids history.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm studying at the moment, so I'm just hoping that. Not hoping. I just want to get it done so that I can start teaching, because I want to get kids excited about history. I want them to see that history actually is quite important. It's not just something that you have to learn. It doesn't have to be that.
He wants to be like, if you guys ever saw Dead Poets Society.
Awesome movie.
He wants to be like that.
I want to be that kind of teacher. I want the kids to want to come to my class. I want them to be excited to come to history and learn the subject, because if I can get them to actually be excited about history, then a lot of the world will change. Because the thing is, a lot of people don't know this, but they don't want to know this. If you don't learn from your past, you'll never move into the future, and that is how it will always be. And I just want people to actually understand that history is the part that will actually teach you about your past. So,
history does repeat itself. History does repeat itself.
Exactly.
If you remember what happened around 1918 to 1920, 100 years ago, we had the Spanish flu. And right now Spain is suffering with a different type of flu.
1300s. You've got the 1300s, you've got the 1600s, where the Black Plague hit twice here in the UK.
Wow.
So you've got those 2 centuries where yes, you've got obviously the 1918 to 1920 Spanish flu. You've got SARS outbreak that happened.
This is technically SARS 2.
This is SARS 2. So, dude, you know what? So is the common cold.
Before I answer, Chicken Wingers Tom, got his name for a second, says, Geekoscopy, like the VR game that helps people in sports by putting them in intense reaction time situation.
I'm all about stuff like that. I'm all about it. I just like being philosophical about fun things. Like VR is gonna change the world once we get to consumer level VR. It's just gonna change the world. I like speculating on what's gonna happen, and I like thinking about how VR can actually help or how it might hinder us in the future. So yeah, for sure, I'm all about that stuff. Right now, VR, but before VR, voice is gonna be a thing. Once things like Alexa, actually, and Siri actually proliferate to where it's like a normal thing, that's also gonna change the way people operate. So, actually, 2020 actually is also a big year for space travel. There's a lot of stuff that's going on with the companies that are involved in space tourism and space travel, and a lot of it's going to start going down from this year. So that Star Trek future that all of us are hoping for, it's actually starting from 2020, unless we all get wiped out by Corona, or an asteroid or something, because we don't know what 2020 is going to bring us next. Like, I am so sure that Godzilla is just going to pop out from Okinawa.
One day dinosaurs will go, "Ooh, what's that?"
Screw that. The fucking Romulans are gonna come and nail us.
Yeah, first contact. We might get first contact in May.
And it
Yeah.
won't be the Vulcans, it'll be the fucking Romulans. Last people we want.
Yeah. But the future is actually looking. There's so much interesting things we're on the cusp of. So yeah.
My 2020 vision is.
Missed it, repeat.
We just missed it.
Yeah, just.
My
Just.
2020 vision is to focus a bit more on the SA Geeks. I haven't discussed it with them yet, but I want to do more interactive streams where we get the people watching us to be more interactive, to like play more interactive games and things like that, and just do that, especially in lockdown.
We should do a Jackbox stream together.
I was actually thinking of doing that.
Good idea.
I was looking at the Jackbox things today, actually.
Oh, wait, on my one.
Yeah.
I have Jackbox up to 3. Jackbox 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, cool. Well, we need to put it on my PS4 as well, otherwise we can't play.
Things like that, and obviously just focusing more on it because we have the time to do it now. Give the channel the attention and love that it actually needs to thrive and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also, I did mention it on the 24-hour stream, but and now I'm actually starting with it within this week or next. Doing all the signing up and that stuff. Personally, I'm going to start studying psychology.
What? That's so cool.
That is so cool.
That's so cool.
And everyone always, like, when they talk to me, they go, "Oh, you should be a psychologist. You're so easy to talk to. You're so easy to open up to."
You are a counselor.
Yeah. So she's going to be a psychologist. Yeah. So it's not just teachers.
By day, teacher and psychologist. By
And
night,
wacky gamers. But yeah, so it's not just a teacher. I actually forgot to mention. After doing the teaching stuff, the teaching qualifications, I'm going to go into teaching, like primary school teaching or whatnot. But I'm going to be studying to get my doctorate in World War II history. So.
That's cool.
doctor.
That's cool.
Yes. The grey will actually have a point.
No, you're gonna have like an Einstein beard by the end of that.
It is, after all, Dr. Geekoscopy.
Yes.
It is.
It'll soon be Dr. Ziff Diffie.
Dr. Ziff Diffie. Also, Dr. Kez. She'll be a type of doctor. She'll be a doctor for the heart and the mind.
And then Pregan just had to get one of this Dr.
Dr. Pillay sounds like a guy that is one of the physicians in my hometown of Indonesia.
Yeah.
So Dr. Pillay,
Yeah.
too many of us.
There's too many.
Way too many. Too many of us.
You won't be able to stand out of the crowd if you become a Dr. Pillay.
Yeah, he'll be like a doctorate of photography or something. It's like, oh, no, I'm not a real doctor. I take photos.
I think
I'm not a real doctor. I won't be a real
masters will probably suit you better, like master
That
headshot.
would be cool.
Master.
That would be cool.
All right,
Yeah.
we're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's wrap this one up. Okay, so Pregan, we have to do. We obviously do this with every single one of our guests. You are no different. Tell us and tell our viewers, where can they find you?
Okay, guys, if you want to get in contact with me or just check out my work, at Headshot Hustle. So I'm primarily on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can catch me there. Say hi, check out my work. If you want to hire me after this whole COVID-19 thing is done, do that.
All right.
Taking
Tuesday,
bookings
as
for
always.
2021. Yeah. Oh, you can find
Good.
me at Geekoscopy. If you're watching on YouTube or on the recording
That's
later,
right.
unless take a mirror and like mirror the live stream, and then you'll see the actual writing.
Well,
But
you can just read it like I'm reading it right now.
at Geekoscopy on all of the relevant social medias except Yahoo and Dig and MSN. I'm actually thinking of seeing whether you can actually make an MSN account these days. we need to Google it and see.
You could try MySpace.
In MySpace, especially MySpace. Yeah, at Geekoscopy. That's where you can find me.
And there you go, at Geekoscopy. All right, and guys, you know us. You're watching us right now here. Follow us right here on Twitch. If you haven't already, you better. Otherwise, you can find us on our pretty much defunct YouTube channel. It's there, but it's not doing much. We're like 30. These kids and I have got a lot of work to do. So you'll find us also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of those.
Twitch, I do it. Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
Yes, TikTok is new. We are on TikTok. Find my wacky self doing wacky things. You'll find Kez doing more wacky things because she's better at TikTok than I am.
And all the animals.
Yeah. Eventually you'll say, "Oh,
would you ever make TikTok videos?
I'm Indian, so I feel like, you know, the Bollywood part of me will just like come alive and start doing dance.
Just the genes will activate. Like
just yeah, you know, just like you know, I'll start doing something.
Yeah, you just start turning the light bulb and patting the dog. That's what you'll do.
Yeah.
You've got to turn the light bulb and you've got to pat the dog.
Patting the dog.
It's a 2-step program. It's not that difficult.
It's like we defaulted to the steps. I don't know why.
It's like it was made for us.
Yeah.
You learned how to do the steps before you could walk.
Yeah. I've seen babies do that. I've seen it.
I've seen babies do that as well. I'm shocked. I was like, wow.
The shock. The horror. But anyway, guys. Pregan, thank you so much for joining us. Finally getting onto the it's been real. It's always real with any of our
It
guests.
was worth the wait.
We love having all you guys on. Wicked. Thank you, Pregan.
Thank you guys so much.
That's
It's been an honor.
more than a pleasure, bro. We're always happy to have guests like you on. Tunes, as always, thank you for joining us and, well, being here on Twitch. And
YouTube Live.
thank you, viewers, the loyal viewers, the friends, the family, the acquaintances. Kez is running away so she can end it. But as always, guys, remember, keep it geeky!